Hey guys, this is Julian. I'm gonna do a vlog about day one on Ritalin, right? So, I've been prescribed Ritalin for ADHD last week. Friday was the first time that I picked up my Friday was when I picked up my prescription. The first time I had it. Just want to let you know how I felt about it, and I must say that it is quite a game changer. So a lot of people reacted in various ways, and in fact I got a lot of reactions when I was posting on Facebook about just want to get some reviews on Ritalin for those people who tried it. And I've had a variety of responses of people saying, "No, you should never take it. Are you sure about this? There are other solutions, blah blah blah." So anyway, the psychologist that I've been to, who diagnosed me of ADHD, in fact quite severe ADHD, and I believe that because all the symptoms of that and everything, and I truly feel that I have problems in focusing on task completion, and also in relationships. That's been one of the main catalysts. I work and relationships that could have been better. So he said between two options of cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, and going on a course of medication, he says if you've never tried Ritalin, then you should. My psychologist himself, he has ADHD as well. So I want to let you know about the first time that I tried it. It was Friday. So on Friday, by the time I tried it, it was like about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I was on my way to meet some friends from Singapore who I haven't seen in a while, and these are friends from internet marketing. They have a lot of insights to share with me. And when I took the Ritalin that day, I did not feel as if it kicked in. I didn't know exactly when it kicked in, because at the point of time I was already kind of having a Americano high, my second coffee for the day, right? So I was already alert. But when I knew that it worked was when my friend was going on technical details about running certain forms of advertising, and typically my attention span is about 20 minutes or so, and then it comes to a point. I'm not sure if you feel this as well, right? Some of you who have ADHD may identify with me on this one. I get to the point where I start to think to myself that oh geez, this is too much for my brain to handle. I don't really make sense of it right now. I know it's good for me, but I'll just listen for now and try and figure it out later. Very often later never happens. So that's been my experience pretty much when it comes to learning in the past. And that day I realized it was like, hey, I'm still listening to you, I'm still concentrating, I'm still understanding. So usually when I would kind of listen first, understand later, but for this time round I was listening and understanding at the same time, and it's an amazing feeling. And that was when I knew that this is not me for sure. This is a Ritalin, because even coffee doesn't have that effect on me. And in fact, I've been feeling as though that having to be heavily reliant on caffeine in order to get stuff done up to this point, right? I feel that I've been getting kind of immune to the effects of caffeine bit by bit, and it doesn't produce the same effects on me as it used to. So when I took that, alright, it's like, whoa, I was blown away. And okay, so I popped the half a pill before I went to meet this group of friends. And after that, one of them was joining me to visit my kids at home. It's a good family friend. And then I popped a pill. I popped a pill at 3 o'clock. So after the meeting, I hit home about 4 plus. So I have good reason to think that by that time the Ritalin was already working, and I already knew it was working because I was listening to him and I was understanding everything. Now here comes the next thing: driving. All right. I must relate to you that day when I was driving on the expressway, it felt peculiar. It felt that something was off. Alright? And because I usually, on the highway, I feel very chill. But I was wondering, I could not describe what it was at the time that made me feel a little bit awkward when I was driving. So obviously, for someone who doesn't feel a certain way when you drive, you will feel very awkward and maybe even feel like it'll make you suspect yourself and maybe a little bit of uneasiness. And I felt uneasy, to be honest with you. I was wondering, should I slow down? It's like, but hey, this is slower than I usually drive. Why do I feel this way? So, anyways, I took some caution when I was driving that day, and I went back, and then after that went for my DJ class, and here's the next thing. Okay, DJ class, I could feel that by a certain point of time, because the teacher was teaching me some new techniques. He was teaching me how to do live remixing, and I felt as though things were beginning to start to get over the top of my head. And I've been watching Limitless before this as well. Limitless, the movie. Damn it, fucking motorcycles. So, I've been watching Limitless, and I kind of thought to myself, in a very cliche way, that Brian Finch used to think to himself, is like, this is definitely not something I can do without NZT. So, for me, it was Ritalin. It's not like a super drug neuroenhancer kind of thing, like NZT is made out to be in the series, but I knew for a fact that whatever it was, like it was a really, because I'm approaching my last few lessons on DJ class right now, and it was quite a crucial topic that I know that I need to get this. It's not, otherwise I'm not going to have enough time or enough lesson hours left to kind of like, figure this out later and ask the teacher anything I don't understand about. I had to figure it out then. And so this was when it was a little bit interesting. I felt as though it worked. I kind of popped another half pill, and I felt that it worked within a very short span of time, like 5 to 10 minutes, right? Not sure whether it was 5 or 10 minutes, but it was quite quick. And I felt that once again, I could start to, interpret everything that was coming to me, and it was a really good feeling. And then came the driving again. Once again, felt kind of uneasy, but I felt as though nighttime and with these tinted screens, I feel that I could see a little bit better than usual. I wonder why that was. So anyway, to quell my suspicions, I basically did a search on Google, and I found out that actually, like, there are a lot of people in the trucking business or trucking line of work in America, and they actually use Ritalin to help concentration during their long drives. And then I thought about, hey, concentration, could that be the reason why I felt a little bit different when I was driving? So the next day, like being a Saturday, I thought, okay, let's go off. I had a bit of drinks of alcohol the night before with my friends and everything, so I thought it'd be good to give myself a break. I'm not sure what the interaction is between that. So I had my second dose about like close to 8 p.m. and I had drinks like about midnight-ish. The next day I went off it, and the next day when I was driving, I felt as though, it was chill, back to being chill as usual. And being a ADHD person, is one of the things I noticed about myself is that I tend to focus on, certain details that fascinate me, but just ignore everything else. And when I was driving, it was back to being that, just focusing on the crucial things. Is anyone cutting my lane? Is there any oncoming traffic? But when I had it, I started to take more attention to what's around. Signboards, names of places, blah, blah, blah. And actually improve my reflex time as well. So it was really interesting to note that. And since then, when I understood what that was, because I went through Reddit, I read what other people had to say about it with regards to driving, and I realized that, wow, this is actually helping me in many different ways. So one last thing that I want to share in this first vlog, and that's about sleep, because a lot of people say that if you pop a pill, just try and take it in the morning and afternoon, otherwise you're gonna have insomnia. So Um, I must say that on Friday night I had one of the deepest sleep I ever had in a long time. Dreamless, totally deep sleep, literally KO'd. Um, Even alarms didn't really trigger me. I couldn't hear the alarm. The snooze probably went on so many times that I couldn't even hear it. Really strange, but I felt very rested the next day. And um, on Saturday night, um, some friends had, some friends were, they kind of like invited me over. The friends from Singapore. And I was like, Julian, or like, not everyone feels like clubbing tonight. Why don't you come over to our house and play some music? So, being a fairly long day, we started family day and everything. So I went out that night and I thought, I think this is gonna be a little bit tricky if I didn't have some extra help. So I popped another half pill, about half an hour before I was about to start playing, and before I knew it, it was like 2 in the morning, and I still felt fresh, and then we went on playing a couple of drinking games because we were gonna fly off the next day. Uh, Capped off about 5ish, and again, slept like a log. You know, had a very short nap because they all had to leave for the airport. So I had a very short sleep, about 3 hours or so, but it felt like 8 hours, and I was amazed. So it's not all the bad things that people say it is, and I and there are a lot of people that mix up Ritalin with antidepressants or mood stabilizers. It like from a very coming from a person where creativity is very important to me. I do not feel that it stifles my creativity. I feel that it makes me sharper, more organized, and in fact, I met some friends, um, like more high vibe type of friends who came along for this trip along with some very good friends from Singapore. And when I told him about ADHD thing, he was like, "What? You have ADHD? Well, you look so together. How's that possible?" So I said, "Well, I'm on it right now." So, anyways, just wanted to share with you my experiences. So if any of you watching this video like have some reservations on taking Ritalin for ADHD, I think this will probably give you some peace of mind. Just go ahead and try it out. Could be good. All right. So that's me signing up. Bye for now.